On February 18, 2007, the small town of Briarwood, West Virginia, arrested a 17-year-old boy for murdering his best friend. The town called him a monster. The newspapers called it open and shut. But 15 years later, when the real killer was finally exposed, Briarwood had to face something far more terrifying than a murderer. They had to face the truth that they helped put the wrong one behind bars. Briarwood had one stoplight, one high school, one sheriff's department with 8 officers. It was the kind of place where everyone knew your parents before they knew you. The victim was Logan Price, 16 years old, football linebacker, wide smile, popular, the kind of teenager who seemed built for the future. His best friend was Aaron Delgado, quiet, introverted, into computers and music production. Logan was loud. Aaron was thoughtful. Together, they balanced each other. On the night of February 17, 2007, Logan and Aaron were last seen leaving a bonfire party near the edge of town. Around 11:42 p.m., a neighbor reported hearing what sounded like a car door slam and raised voices near Old Mill Road. The next morning, Logan's body was discovered in a ditch off that road. Blunt force trauma to the head. Aaron was nowhere to be found. Within 12 hours, he became the town's suspect. Aaron turned himself in that afternoon. He wasn't running. He walked into the sheriff's office with his father and said, "I heard what happened. I didn't do it." But the narrative had already begun forming. Witnesses at the bonfire reported a heated argument between Logan and Aaron earlier that evening. One girl claimed she heard Aaron shout, "You'll regret this." Investigators discovered a smear of blood in Aaron's truck. Aaron said Logan had cut his hand earlier while opening a beer bottle. Forensic testing confirmed the blood belonged to Logan, but there was no timestamp to prove when it got there. Under interrogation, Aaron appeared nervous, avoided eye contact. His voice cracked. To Briarwood, nervous meant guilty. After 10 hours in a small interview room, Aaron finally said something that sealed his fate. "I wish I had stopped him." Detectives interpreted it as a confession. Aaron meant he wished he had stopped Logan from walking away alone that night. But the nuance was lost. He was charged with second-degree murder. The trial lasted 4 days. The prosecution built a simple story: jealousy. Logan had recently started dating a girl Aaron liked. The argument escalated. Aaron snapped. The defense argued there was no murder weapon, no eyewitness, no direct confession. But small towns don't just try cases in court. They try them at grocery stores, church pews, football games. The jury deliberated for 6 hours. Guilty. Aaron Delgado was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Logan's parents hugged the prosecutor. The town exhaled. Monster identified. Case closed. In 2022, Briarwood received a new sheriff, Sheriff Dana Mitchell. She was from Charleston, not born in Briarwood, which meant she wasn't emotionally attached to its history. While auditing old evidence storage, she noticed something odd in the Logan Price file: a sealed envelope labeled "unprocessed." Inside was a single item: a fabric fiber sample collected from Logan's jacket. The fiber had never been tested, because at the time the department believed the case was solved. Sheriff Mitchell sent it for modern forensic analysis. The result came back 3 weeks later. The fiber matched upholstery from a 1998 Ford Crown Victoria. Aaron did not own a Crown Victoria, but someone else in Briarwood did: Deputy Sheriff Mark Henson. In 2007, Mark Henson had been a patrol officer. He was the one who first interviewed witnesses at the bonfire. He was also the officer who discovered Logan's body, and he had testified at trial about Aaron's inconsistent behavior. Sheriff Mitchell dug deeper. Phone records from 2007 were limited, but archived tower pings revealed something disturbing. Deputy Henson's department-issued phone had connected to a tower near Old Mill Road at 11:36 p.m., 6 minutes before the neighbor reported hearing raised voices. Henson had never documented being near that area that night. Then came something even darker. A sealed complaint from 2006 surfaced. A teenage girl had reported inappropriate behavior by Deputy Henson. The complaint was dismissed because her father withdrew it. The father was Logan Price. The pieces began forming a different picture. Logan may have known something about Deputy Henson, something dangerous. Investigators theorized that Logan confronted Henson that night. The confrontation escalated. Blunt force trauma, panic. Henson, already at the scene, could manipulate the investigation. Aaron, the introverted best friend with visible anxiety, became the perfect scapegoat. Small towns trust uniforms. They don't question them. Sheriff Mitchell reopened the case officially. When confronted, Henson denied everything. But forensic reanalysis of Logan's skull fractures revealed the angle of impact was consistent with someone significantly taller than Aaron. Henson stood 6'4". Aaron was 5'8". The murder weapon was never found. But Henson's old patrol vehicle records showed unexplained bodywork repairs 1 week after the murder. Sheriff Mitchell requested a federal review. The FBI joined the investigation. Under pressure, a retired officer admitted something chilling. In 2007, he had questioned inconsistencies in the timeline, but he was told directly, the town needs closure. Closure had been more important than truth. In 2023, Mark Henson was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and obstruction of justice. The courtroom was quieter this time. No cheers, no applause, just silence. Aaron Delgado was exonerated after serving 15 years. 15 years for a crime he did not commit. When Aaron walked out of prison, reporters asked him if he hated Briarwood. He paused for a long time. Then he said, "They didn't choose justice. They chose comfort." Logan's parents later issued a public apology to Aaron, but apologies don't return stolen years. Karma in Briarwood did not arrive quickly. It waited. It allowed certainty to harden into arrogance. It allowed a badge to hide behind respect. And then it exposed the town's real monster. Not just a man, but the fear of questioning authority. If this case made you realize how easily truth can be replaced by convenience, subscribe to The Hidden Truth. Because sometimes the scariest crimes aren't just committed by individuals, they're protected by silence.